Just after 9 o'clock, our deputies were dispatched here to the 1500 block at King's Court in reference to a medical call where a person found a person that was lying unconscious on the floor. Our deputies arrived here with medical personnel, found a male lying unconscious on the ground here. Medical actually worked on the particular person for a period of time, but he has deceased here on the scene. During a security sweep of the same apartment, found a female in an upstairs location of the same apartment, suffering and actually dead from a gunshot wound. We are investigating that now. Right now we don't have any suspects or motives in the case. Our Detective Bureau is here along with the Coroner's Office and our crime scene in order to gather whatever evidence they have here at the scene. But we ask anybody here from this information, if they have any information to share with us, they can contact us either through Crime Stoppers or our Detective Bureau 364-5300.
Sheriff, just to make sure I didn't miss it, you had two folks in the residence. You have one deceased, being the female?
No, they have two are deceased at this point. Yeah, we have a male and a female inside. They're both deceased.
And did you say the man had gunshot wounds or no?
We're trying to determine that right now. Released on the female that has a gunshot wound. Obviously, the Coroner's Office is here will make that determination what the cause of death is right now.
Do y'all know the relationship between the man and woman?
As of right now, we don't know anything about the individuals, but we'll be getting our, obviously as much information as we can from the residents.
Can you say anything about the person that called it in? Was it a relative? Or?
I don't know who the person who called it in. Our detectives are talking to him, but I don't know who that person is right now.
Talk about just the surprise if you get called for one thing and it's fluid situation to change.
It's horrible that when anybody dies. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is somebody's family member that dies on any type of situation. We've been lucky in Jefferson Parish that we've had a very, very low murder rate over the last few years. In fact, we had our lowest murder rate this past year. We've been very, very slow the beginning of this year, which has been great. I hate these phone calls. I hate being able to come out here and be able to have to give these press conferences, to be honest with you. I like people to be able to go home at the end of the night and enjoy their business, but unfortunately we live in a large society here of Jefferson Parish, and crime happens, and I know I have confidence in our detectives. They're going to go out there and find out who committed this to make sure we prevent the next one from happening.
Do y'all have signs of foul play? Like, I don't know if the gunshot wound seems self-inflicted or if it's obviously
I mean,
not.
we're investigating this as a murder right now. We're investigating it as a murder, and we'll obviously look at every possibility as we go forward, and which we do with any type of case. But as of right now, it's being invested as a homicide.
Can you talk just about your deputies get called to something, and sometimes it changes drastically from what they're told to what they end up dealing with?
Well, let's face it, 911 is not being called because someone's having a good day. They call on a bad day, and our job is to come out here and figure out what the problem is. We don't know what the call is going to be. We come to, sometimes this was a medical call. They showed up for a medical call and it ended up being a homicide. That's something that we have to deal with on a regular basis, but that's part of our job, is to figure out the problems that are happening and to figure out how do we fix it and how do we solve the problem. And we'll continue to do our job. Thank you. Sure. Thank you.